crafty friends. In today's video, I'm making a card using the latest parameters from this week's Craft Roulette. How far will I stretch them this week? Let's find out. Alright, I figured I would start this video with my sometimes, and I would say often, process of how I kind of go about deciding what I want to put on my card. I don't do it all the time, but it's a very common thing. And this week's parameters kind of stalled me for a minute. Sometimes I have an idea right away, other times I don't. This was one of those times I did not have an idea right away. So this is my notebook. It's a pretty big one. That has most of my stamp sets in here, and I have them categorized where it makes sense to me. I want to kind of go deeper into my organization. I always say that's going to be my plan, but I never do, and this is as far as I got, and I've kind of left it with that. What I do is when I get a stamp set, I take a picture or a scan. Sometimes I actually stamp the stamps, depends on how ambitious I am, and also how they come, because like red stamps, you know, they don't usually come with a sheet. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So then I stamp them out. This one had a little sheet. It actually had colors on it, so I just scanned it and printed it and taped it into the book. So it's not like I have a one-size-fits-all process, but I was forgetting what stamps I had. I was buying duplicates. I have a drawer, an area about that big in my drawer of duplicates that I keep saying I'm going to either donate or do a giveaway or something like that. But anyway, so I also have another book like this that is just die cuts. If it's a stamp and a die cut, it's in here. And I'll have a D next to it so that I know that that stamp set has a die cut to go with it. So what I do is I flip through after I see the parameters. I flip through here, and sometimes I flip through my die cut book as well. Some sets are just sentiments, and if the parameter was a sentiment heavy thing, I might start there. And then I flip through to remind myself of the stamps that I have and to sort of get inspired. So this week I got inspired by a stamp set, and let's flip to it. This stamp set, which I pulled out. And then the next thing I needed to do was come up with, so this is my cat, because one of the parameters was add a cat. So I right away went to animal to flip through and find my cats. Then I decided to use this guy because my cat, who's ironically sitting right next to me, pawing at me for attention, both of the cats, but her biggest game that she likes to play is jumping in a box. Jumping in the box, jumping out of the box, jumping in the box, jumping out of the box. Especially when someone gets a present and there's wrapping paper on it, and there's some kind of wrapping inside. She's all over it. It's pretty funny to me because sometimes she's nowhere to be found, and she's, doing the cat hiding thing, and then as soon as a box comes out and I turn around to get something, I turn back, she's in the box, which I didn't even hear her come. So that's going to be my cat, add a cat, and my game. And then I decided, because she loves, mostly when it's wrapping paper, I decided to play around and do something. And I don't know if it's going to work out, but I think I'm going to stamp it on some paper so that it looks like it's not just a box, but it's a birthday gift. So then that brought me to another stamp set. So then I went to my birthday category and I flipped through that, and I decided the cat needed a hat. So I found a stamp set with a cute, I think it's this one, with a hat that will fit my cat. And I pulled that stamp set. And then I decided that she needed another gift in front of the box that she's in. So I'm going to use this one and maybe that one and color them and put them in front of her in her box that she's in. And then I'm going to use a birthday sentiment. So that is how I often get inspired. The next thing was I went to my papers and I saw this one. And I thought it was cute. It comes from a paper pad. But for me, summer is yellows and I think citrus. And I think these colors came to mind when I was flipping through my papers. So I'm going to use this paper for the cards on my Z fold. So now I just have to make it. So let's get to it. Okay, so my first step, I'm going to make the Z fold. Now I'm going to cut my paper and I'm going to put a piece here, here, and I think even on this side. I think the only place I'm not going to put it is the back. But I am going to give a little bit of a white space just to break up that crazy pattern a little bit. Forgive my dog for barking. She barks at random things all the time. Let's start with 5.5. Then I need a piece for the inside, which is going to be 4 because I want a little bit of a border. Then I need a piece for the outside, which is essentially what would be the front, right? And then, so now I have a piece for here, and I have a piece for here. Now I need a piece for here. I don't think I'll put a piece here either, because then the card will be really thick. So now I need a piece for here. I don't know, do I need to put it there? I think I'm going to start with not putting it there, and we'll see how it looks. So now I have to cut this in half. This is 2 1/8. Let's see. Step 1 is to find my tape. Here it is. All right. Uh-oh. I just had a tape malfunction. Ugh. All right. Hold on while I fix this. Okay. I think I have it running better. I had to do some mechanical engineering on my tape. I don't know. This tape runner, when I got it, it seemed like that was the one everybody was using, like reasonably priced, but it jams up a lot. I don't know if anyone else has that problem. All right, so now I'm going to put my piece of paper there. Now here's the question. Do I trim it off as well, or do I leave it like that at the edge? And yeah, I think I want it this way. I'm going to come right to the edge and press it down. And then I'm going to put a piece of white here. The card's going to essentially look like that. I think that looks good. Okay, so I'll put this to the side. And I need to find the die cut that has the little stitched etching. That's the size that I want. Okay, so I decided to go with this die cut. And I cut out 2 of them. And I'm going to essentially put one here and one here, right lined up with each other, so that when it opens, you have that. That is my plan. So the next part is to make all the little pieces that will go with it. I'm going to stamp all them out and color them in. I'm going to use colored pencils today because why not? I'm in the mood for colored pencils. So now I have my pieces, my cat's cut out. I just glued the paper that I cut out from this onto here, just to give it a sort of a continuity. Now the last thing I have to do is figure out where I want to put my sentiment, which I don't know. So if I put him there with his little hat, let's figure out where we want to put him. This here, and then maybe this one behind. Or, well, let's glue his little hat on. All right, I decided his little tuft of hair sticking out is cute. So I'm actually gonna cut that out. Then I'm gonna add a little black behind, a little black to kind of cover up my bad fussy cutting. Okay. And then we're gonna glue our little hat on. Okay. Let that dry. I have little pieces of paper everywhere. All right, let's get our sentiment out. We're waiting for that to dry. Cardstock. Let's get it straight. That'll be fun. Not too low. Okay. That's better. Okay. Hickory smoke. I'm going to add a little shadow for everyone to sit on. Okay. Time to assemble our little card. I am going to... So I fussy cut this one out. And the die cut on this set makes a much whiter border. So I'm actually going to trim it so that it kind of matches what I did. That looks better, just because it matches. Okay. That is adorable. So cute. I think I'll glue this one first. And then this guy. Make sure he's straight. Okay. And then this one. And we're going to put him in the middle. Should we double up? I'm thinking yes. Just give it a little extra support, right? Yeah. Who doesn't need a little extra support? See, glued? And a little extra glue. Press that down, and now I gotta cut another one of those for the back. Alrighty, I cut another piece. Put this die cut away. Now I'm going to put some glue on the back of this and secure it. press it down and then line it up. I'm not going to use glue on this panel. This panel is kind of a lighter cardstock. I was trying to cut down on the bulk, so I'm going to use dot runner. And let's get it lined up again. Right, and then I'm going to close it this way. So it's nice and lined up. So when it's closed, it's like that. And then when you open it, you can put who it's for, which I don't have yet. Let's go over the parameters. Let's see if I got them all. So Z-fold, check. Summer colors. I think that citrusy colors are summer to me, like on the warm side. So this paper really just said summer to me without being in like a summer paper. It's from a paper pad. And then I followed this color scheme and colored in my little stamps, and it was add a cat. So there's my cat, and games. My cat's favorite game, like even though laser pointer, following the laser pointer is probably number 2, number 1 is jumping into boxes, especially when they are covered in wrapping paper. And there you have it. I got them all. Did it again. That was actually fun. This is a really cute card. I will definitely actually probably mail this one. This one's a good one. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Have a crafty day.